What's up, average dad fans? Welcome back to another video, and woo! Foldable season is absolutely dripping with fun. I have all of the latest and greatest foldables, and in this video, I'm going to build my perfect foldable phone using different parts from each device. I also have news of the Vivo X Fold 5 global launch. I have news of the Honor Magic V5 global launch shipping date. And I'll probably do some form of giveaway because I'm feeling fruity. Let's go. So, some administration duties to take care of first. The Vivo X Fold 5 Global Edition is now available to pre-order through the Average Dad Tech Store. The phone itself will ship by the 4th of August, hoping to have it shipping before that date, but by the 4th of August you will have a tracking number if you pre-order, and you can pick up the global version for just over £1,400, which is about £250 cheaper than the X Fold 3 Pro Global released last year. Really good news for us that Vivo haven't stuck to India for its launch. They've released it in other countries, including Hong Kong, where one of my main suppliers resides. And then the Honor Magic V5, admin duty to let you know, tomorrow the Honor Magic V5 Global starts shipping. We have roughly 60-ish pre-orders. We're looking at a schedule of around 20 to 30 per day. So by the end of this week, by Friday, all pre-orders will be shipped out. You will have your tracking number added to your order. And for all 60 of you, you will receive your free gift of either a wireless charging puck or a power bank from AD. A few of you have emailed to specifically tell us what you want. If you are in that camp and you've not told us what you want, but you've got one of those things you really want, let my support team know at this email address. Now, let's talk foldable phone Frankenstein. So yesterday in my WhatsApp group, the Average Dad channel group, you can join through Buy Me a Coffee here. I always have the link to Buy Me a Coffee in the description below. In that group, David, I believe, posted up a little poll to see which foldable phone everyone preferred out of the Oppo N5, the Samsung Z Fold 7, the Honor Magic V5 and the Vivo X Fold 5. Now, you've just heard the news about the X Fold 5 global launch, so this means that all four of those devices are now global ROM. So there's now no longer any, but that's a Chinese ROM, so I'm obviously going to go for the Samsung. They all have the same playing field, folks. So I posed that question to my community on YouTube, and in well under 24 hours, we've had 1,000 responses. And is it interesting or is it not? Keeping in mind that this is my channel, and my channel and community is filled with level-headed people with a brain between their lugs, I think this is probably what I expected. In fourth position is the Oppo N5 Global with around 13%. Now this is because the N5 Global is almost a full 6 months old. And tech being tech, you're always going to favour recency bias over something older. In third position is the Vivo X Fold 5 with, I think, around 18%. But then in second place, with 25%, so 1 in 4 of you believe this was your favourite, the Samsung Z Fold 7. And then, with almost half the votes, I think it was like 45 or 46%, we have the Honor Magic V5. And folks, I can tell you, after owning and using them all, I really like the cut of your jib. So I'm going to make a foldable phone based on all the best bits of all these phones. And for you Samsung Knights, you'll enjoy this too. So, how it's going to work is, in my usual full review from last year and a recent one on the Vivo X Fold 5, I have 5 categories: design, build quality, cameras, software, and price. What I'm going to do is add in some chipset stuff, some battery stuff, some multitasking stuff, and I'm just going to build the perfect foldable phone. And folks, if you're new to the channel, there is nobody, in my opinion, more experienced or well versed in foldable phones on the planet. And I know that sounds like a bold statement, but again, if you're new to the channel, please look at my video archive. I have nearly 700 videos, of which probably over half are about foldable phones. I have owned them all. And in 2025, we are unbelievably blessed to have such great competition in just the past few months. The fact that I have 4 foldable phones that I could recommend to anyone on the planet goes a long way from like 2022, where fold phones were close to still being a gimmick. So, we're going to start off with design. And in the design category, this is subjective, so calm down. You can let me know in the comments which one you would choose for design of the 4. I like a circular camera bump, so that eliminates the Samsung. And on a side note, the Samsung is the wobbliest phone on a desk you will ever own. More wobbly than any other Z Fold phone in the past because of its 200 megapixel camera, making it a bigger camera bump. So it's not a bad thing that the camera bump's bigger, but it just makes it more wobbly. So from a camera bump and design perspective, because all 4 of these phones are roughly 9mm, between 8.8 and 9.1, 9.2mm, we can give thinness and weight kind of a level playing field. So it does come down to the look and aesthetic. And I do think I would pick the Honor V5 Global as the best designed phone, but Samsung, congratulations, because if I could choose any colour of any of these phones, it would be the Blue Shadow from Samsung. This year's Blue Shadow is just chef's kiss. So well done Samsung. It would be the look of the V5 with the colour of the Samsung for design. And then in terms of build quality, the Oppo is out because it isn't IP59 water and dust resistant. The Samsung also has to take a seat on the bench because it's IP48 water and dust resistant, which isn't as good as 5.9 in case you didn't know. So it's between the Vivo X Fold 5 and the Honor Magic V5. Both IP59 water and dust resistant. Both have their proprietary glass protection, not Gorilla Glass Victus 2 or Armour. So this one's a dead heat. I would take the build quality, if I'm being honest, of all of these devices. But for beach holidays that I was just on a few days ago, you're going to feel more reassured having an X Fold 5 or a V5 in your pocket over a Samsung or an Oppo. So I'll give it to Vivo and Honor for build. And then the next category is, I thought going to be closer than ever, but having used the Z Fold 7 for the past 24 to 36 hours, there's just no getting around it. Samsung's One UI is the king. In so many little ways, from customization to ease of use and compatibility, the Z Fold 7 just keeps coming up trumps. And I'll give you an example of One UI that just doesn't happen on anything else. I have the Galaxy Watch, I have the Galaxy Tab S10 Ultra, and I had them all on holiday with me. The S10 Ultra, whenever I have something going on, like outgoing flight, return flight, train journey, a birthday, someone else's birthday. Before I unlock my device, the screen will light up with a fantastic animation and big bold writing to tell me, Michael, you have a flight today. Michael, happy birthday. No other phone does that in this lineup. And that's because of Samsung and Google's partnership and One UI's design to push these alerts to you in a really satisfying, bold, happy way. Now, unfortunately, I'm a disaster and I didn't take pictures of this, so I don't actually have an example. You're just going to have to take my word for it. Your phone lock screen, your tablet lock screen, your laptop lock screen, if you've got anything Samsung, it will do the same thing. It integrates with your Google Calendar. And yeah, I just love it. I think it's fantastic. And of course, there's 10, 15, 20 million other reasons why One UI is just fantastic. None more so than the Good Lock app with all of the different applications inside Good Lock that just make your Samsung unique. If you customize your Samsung to the full potential it allows you, I can almost guarantee that not one other person on the planet will have the same looking phone. And that sounds crazy, but there are millions of different customizations you can do, from icons to screen layout to app folders to colors to wallpapers to live wallpapers. Yeah, Samsung for the win in software, absolutely hands down. Now, before we move on to cameras, I want to touch on two things. My foldable phone must have stylus support because it's a fucking tablet in your pocket. For Samsung to remove stylus support, I can't comprehend it. I don't understand. Now, I know the reasoning behind it. Money, money, money. But it's just wild to me. It's absolutely wild that they've removed stylus support. And while I'm talking about stylus support, and I'm not going to get too into the weeds of this, Shane Craig is fantastic. Mutual tech reviewer that I have been in contact with in the past, and this isn't about him. This isn't necessarily about Ice Universe. This is just about where we're at as tech fans in general. When Ice Universe posts saying that the Honor V5 is 0.15 of a millimeter thicker than the SAID, and then everybody jumps on that bandwagon, only for Ice Universe to then apologise and say, oh shit, sorry, there was a screen protector on the phone. The fact that so many people have made tweets and posts and videos about this is just hilarious to me. One thing you'll never see Average Dad do is talk about how outrageous 0.15 of a millimeter difference is. And thank God I didn't, because it turned out they didn't lie. Honor doesn't lie. Their phone is as thin as they said. But the reason I bring this up is because Samsung have removed stylus support. And in doing so, they have removed the digitizer. This is a level of screen underneath the glass that allows for stylus support. That comes in at, 0.15 millimeter or whatever it may be. The fact that the Honor has this, and nobody's really mentioned that, shows that the Honor is thinner without it than the Samsung. So for those that have said that the Samsung is now 0.05 millimeters thinner than the Honor, would you rather a 0.05 millimeter thicker phone with stylus support or without? I just had to call that out there because so many people just see what they want to see or hear what they want to hear, and very few people break it down like I do. So to confirm, all of these phones are as thin as you could want them to be. All of these phones look and feel fantastic. Do not start being abusive and getting into the weeds about 0.15 millimeters, you're kind of missing the point of life at that point. So anyway, I definitely went on a tangent there, but I just had to bring it up because it was hilarious to me that so many people were making these videos, and then those same people, like Shane, had to do like a apology type video. Yeah, just silly. So with all that being said, my foldable will have stylus support, so I'll use the Oppo Find N5's digitizer in my foldable phone because it has cover screen and inner screen stylus support. Now, another fairly big category here is battery. And I don't think you need to be a rocket scientist to know which phone I'm going to choose here. Because we're talking about the global versions, the Vivo has a 6,000 mAh battery. The Honor has a 5,820 mAh battery. However, the Chinese 1TB version, yes, only the 1TB version of the Chinese phone has a 6,100 mAh battery, but we're sticking with global. So I'm picking Vivo because the 5,600 mAh or 5,400 mAh of the N5 and the 4,400 mAh of the Samsung is just not enough for me in 2025. So I'll pick the Vivo X Fold 5's battery. But a slight win for Samsung, I will take your chipset. The overclocked 8 Elite chip. I believe they're still overclocking them anyway. I'll take Samsung's 8 Elite chip because yes, pairing a large 6,000 mAh battery with the 8 Elite chip is always going to be better than the 6,000 mAh battery with the 8 Gen 3 chip. So there you go, Samsung. I'll take your chipset. So before we talk about the final category, which is price, I do want to touch on cameras. Now, none of these foldable phones have flagship camera systems. It just hasn't happened in 2025 yet. But I am hopeful that soon, probably not this year, but next year, we will have truly flagship camera setups on foldable phones. But you can only piss with the cock you've got. So right now we have the triple camera setup on all of these phones. If you're looking for the best main lens, I'm going to give it to Samsung. So my main lens would be Samsung. My telephoto lens would be Honor's. And my ultra-wide lens, let's go Vivo. There we go. So my triple camera setup uses cameras taken from all the phones apart from the Oppo N5. The ultra-wide is nowhere near good enough. The zoom was very close. It was between the Oppo and the Honor for zoom, but the Honor has a bigger sensor size. So that's my camera setup on my perfect foldable for 2025. Now, I am truly interested and intrigued to know what you would have. So if you can be arsed, let me know in the comments what you would have for design, battery, all that good stuff. I'm thinking you'll probably echo a lot of what I'm saying because we are normally always on the same kind of page, but I'm still intrigued to know. And now the final category we have to talk about is price. These are all global versions and they all almost fall in line with the way you voted. So in last place in the voting was the Oppo N5, and it just happens to be the cheapest one you can buy out the four. You can get through the Average Dad Tech Store. You can get all these phones through the Average Dad Tech Store. For those that don't know, I own the largest import store in the UK and Europe. I have suppliers in Shenzhen. I have suppliers in Hong Kong. I have suppliers in the Middle East. If you're looking for a phone, a tablet, a smartwatch, we don't have it on the site, email support again and we will source it for you. I want to bring the best tech for the cheapest price to my loyal viewers. That's the mission. That's what I try to do. So the Oppo is the cheapest of the four. You've then got the Vivo, which did come in third in the voting, and it's £1,419 for the global version. So roughly £100 or just under £100 more expensive than the Oppo. Then with another £100 to £120 jump, you have the Honor coming in at around £1,550. I need to fact check that. I'm sure it's 1549 on my store, which is about £100 more expensive than it was last year for the V3. But in my opinion, the V5 is certainly worth £100 extra for the upgrades it has given me this year. And then you've got the most expensive of the four, which is a Samsung, coming in at a fairly mind-blowing £1,900. However, I am aware there are trading deals, there are giveaways. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the base price, the RRP, without discounts or deals. So for me, I would take the price of the Vivo X Fold 5. And I know you're thinking, what? Why the hell would you not pick the cheapest price? Because folks, when you go for the cheapest price, and you can look back at the video, the Oppo didn't really win many categories, and I didn't really use many parts of the Oppo. Off the top of my head, I think I used the digitizer, which I could have taken from the Honor. Whereas the Vivo, for just £100 more, you're getting great battery, you're getting fantastic screens, build quality, design, cameras. You're getting all that stuff for that price point. So for me, I believe Honor, and in particular Samsung, could release their flagship foldable phones for around £1,400 to £1,500 year on year. But Samsung in particular will continue to charge us £1,800, £1,900, £2,000. And I will never go for that. I just don't think it's right. My Z Fold 7 cost me £1,400. Brand new, sealed. Hong Kong version, which is the global version. You can also pick that up through the Average Dad text. And I think I'm selling it for around £1,550. So when you take away shipping costs, there you go. I'm probably making about £100 per sale from those devices, which is what, like 7%, 8%? So there we have it. All four phones built to make one Frankenstein phone. If anyone out there has the time and skills and wants to build my Blue Shadow Honor Magic V3 looking phone with Stylus support, go ahead, post it on my Instagram, here's the handle, and I will give you a shout out in the next video. This has just been a bit of fun. Don't take it too seriously, life's too short. Let me know in the comments what you think. Give the video a like while you're there and smash subscribe, because there's a vast number of people watching this, you watching this video right now, that hasn't hit subscribe. Get me to 75,000 by the end of the year, or more than that, and I will be giving away a phone of your choice. Two actually. Two lucky people will get to choose any phone from the Average Dad Tech Store for Christmas. I'll be back soon with the Honor Magic V5 full review, the Vivo X Fold 5 versus Honor Magic V5, the Z Fold 7 first impressions, the Z Fold 7 full review. Yeah, I have a lot of content coming, so again, another reason to hit sub. Until next time,